Hello everyone, my name is Daniela. Thank you for coming to my video. This is actually my first YouTube video. I've wanted to start a channel for so long, but I didn't want to start until I could make a video that I was really passionate about on a topic that I was really passionate about. And at this point in time, that is nursing and nursing school and all that kind of stuff. I actually just graduated from nursing school about a month ago, December 8th, 2018, so never forget that day. So I just wanted to talk about some things that I wish I would have known before I started nursing school. They're not things that would have made me not start nursing school or become even more excited for nursing school. They're just things that I wish I would have known along the way that just would have helped me and just made me more relaxed and just kind of eased me through everything rather than being an anxious mess. So let's see, I'm on my computer. The first thing, I think this one is huge, is to not let people scare you. So I don't know how to touch on this one, I guess. So everyone is different. So a lot of people are smarter than you, and you're a lot smarter than a lot of other people, and that's fine. So everybody's experience is so different, so you can't really listen to people from other schools or even the same school but another like cohort ahead of you. You just can't really listen to them because your experience is going to be your own, and that took me so long, seriously, until the last semester, I guess, of nursing school, I guess. So I was in an accelerated program, and in those programs, I hate to be so blunt, but people fail all the time. It's a hard program, and you miss your exam scores by 0.1%. The school's not going to round up for you. You have failed the class. So it's really common for people to fail, whatever. But those people will come take those classes that they failed with you again. And so you will have all these new classmates each semester, and they're just gonna try to scare you. That's just what it is. They're tainted, they're frustrated, they're everything that could have gone wrong for them went wrong for them that last semester, and they hate the professor, and the professor does all these things wrong, and a lot of the time, yeah, the professor freaking sucks. But those people want you to fail because they failed that class. And a lot of them don't. A lot of them are like, hey, use all my study stuff. This is what I did. I wish I would have done this, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of them are just so pissed off at the school, at the professors, that they don't care about you. If you fail, then that makes them feel better. And it is what it is. I mean, just don't listen to other people. Your experience is going to be your own, and just do your best. And if you want to use those things, if people say like, hey, do this to study, this works best for almost everyone, okay, then you know you don't need to read this, and this for this class. You know that this class is best to just use a study guide. But when it comes to other little things, just don't listen to other people. My next point is to find your best way to study, and this might be different for multiple classes. So my med-surg, I needed to read the book, read the chapters in their entirety, just read them like crazy. While I was going through them, I would highlight everything that I thought was important. So basically, my whole book was yellow. So I would do that, then I would listen to PowerPoints and look at discussion posts and do whatever questions that I thought were helpful. And then after that, I would schedule like a meeting with my friends. One of my best friends in the program was a paramedic before he came to nursing school, and he would just sit with a bunch of us girls, and he would teach us everything. We would literally go through the book, each section of the book, and he would just teach us. So that was my best way for med-surg. But when it came to OB, which was my favorite class, which, a lot of students that had failed that class said it's the worst class you're going to take in nursing school. It's so hard. Nobody passes, blah, blah, blah. that was not true for me. That was my easiest class, so that's another example of why you can't just listen to everybody. But anyway, when it came to OB, I would read the chapter, read all the boxes that were in the chapter. If I felt like I needed to read it a second time, I'd skim it. Then I would do the study guide and do like practice questions on Quizlet or Evolve is what we used, and that's it. I didn't need to talk to anybody about it. That was my best way to study for that class, and I kept it at that, and that's what worked for me. And the thing is, like I said, not every class is going to be the same, but you need to quickly find what the best way for you to study is, because you only have so many exams each time. You have to get that certain average, and you got to figure it out quickly, which is scary. And that is what scared me the most, is I hated to have like a trial exam to do, like, to say like, okay, I studied this way for this exam. If that worked, then I'm going to continue that way. If it didn't, then it didn't, and I'll change it. But when I knew that it didn't, then that freaked me out, but it all worked out. Another thing regarding the studying, you know, a lot of people, nursing school is where they make their best friends, and that is where I made a lot of, you know, my best friends that I'll have forever. But if you find that you study best completely alone, and that means you don't talk to anybody until you come back to school the next week or whenever it is, or see people at clinical, you haven't, you know, had any contact with these people, then that's what you have to do. I was lucky enough to where I needed a lot of help from my friends through a lot of those classes, so I was in contact with them all the time. But I know a lot of people don't, and that's okay. It's all, you have to be selfish, and you need to study the best way that's gonna make you successful. Okay, my next point is that, this kind of sounds rude, but it's so true. Just shut up and listen. So what I mean by this is, like, if you've had a medical background, or if you are really, you know, if you know a lot about a certain topic and the professor's teaching it in lab or something like that, just be quiet. Let the professor teach it, because chances are the way you learned it is not going to be how they're teaching you in school. And a lot of people don't know about it already, and you're just kind of overpowering them and not allowing them to learn the way that they need to learn, and you just kind of sound like a jackass, to be honest, because you need to just, sorry, my cat's going crazy. You just need to let people learn. So if that means you being quiet, then be quiet. A lot of the time, what the professors have to say is going to be on the exam. They'll like slip little things in once in a while, or they're just things that you're going to remember forever. You're going to remember the story that they told you about a patient with CHF that, you know, whatever happened to them in the hospital. You're going to remember that story because it just stuck. And that's why you have to be respectful of other people and just be quiet. My next point is not one that I feel like a lot of people think about, but it's to look things up right away if you don't understand them. So a lot of the time, your professors and obviously nurses that you're doing clinical with and doctors, they're going to use abbreviations or just talk about things that you will not have any idea about, which is fine. But a lot of your schooling and exams and everything, it all bases off of each other. So if you don't know what this one thing means first semester and that carries on until fourth semester, then you might be screwed. So if you don't know something, just look it up, because no one's gonna baby you and hold your hand. So they're not gonna say, do you know what that means? I just want to make sure. They don't care. They really don't. So just take it upon yourself to learn as much as you can. Look something up, because it's only gonna help you in the long run. My next point is to find the humor in everything. This might be easier said than done. I am just a really goofy person, if you know me, and I always am, sometimes too far, but I always try to bring humor into every situation, every bad situation, every good situation, just to lighten the mood. And sometimes you just need that. I mean, a lot of my friends and I, after each exam, we would sit in what was called the fishbowl, and we would just go over each question that we could remember on the exam and say, no, I know it was A because I remember on page 437, there was a box that said this, and this. And sometimes you need to get that out. You need to just like express how you're feeling after an exam if it was really hard or something like that. But you can't overdo it because that stuff is really going to drag you down, and it gets so tough. I can't even explain how mentally draining nursing school is. And if you don't bring a little humor into some things, then it's going to be miserable for you. You're going to stay hyper focused, extreme cortisol levels from being so stressed and unhappy, and you just have to let loose sometimes. That doesn't mean slack off, but I'm just saying let loose. Like, for example, and I did these things to be funny, not to be mean, but some of my professors, their voices were just so easy to imitate, and I would imitate them all the time, in any time that I could, especially a time that it was to lighten the mood. So, harmful little things like that just makes everybody laugh, and sometimes that's really what you need because it's a really tough time in your life, and you might as well make the best of it. So my last point is that nursing school will truly be the best and the worst part of your life. Truly. So I remember this first semester was not like difficult curriculum. Like, I thought it was pretty easy, but the course load that we had, and I had just moved for the first time away from home after getting married, and I had never had to drive really far around this area for anything, and it was just a lot of changes at once, and I would have panic attacks in the middle of the night, and it was just horrible. It was truly horrible. I remember second semester, I told my husband, I said, I truly don't know if I can go back. And that was not an option, but I remember thinking that because it was just so stressful. But, as I learned like my little strategies and my best ways to study and who my best friends were, and just kind of got in a good routine, it did get easier. The curriculum got a lot harder, but the course load and like the confusion of everything just got easier. And the friends that you make in nursing school, I could seriously start crying about it right now. Everyone in nursing school always laughs about how I was always a crier, which I still am, and I know I always will be. But anyway, the people that you meet, you have family and friends, but they didn't do nursing school with you, chances are. But the people that you're with in nursing school, you'll never share like that type of bond with somebody like you will with them. And they know you in your worst times, and obviously, and then in your best times when you do something well at clinical, or if you do really well on an exam, or at pinning. That's a huge thing. Everyone meeting their families, and it is the best time once it's done. And that's why I say, even in the middle of nursing school, find the humor, find the fun, make the best of it, because it really does go by fast, and you will remember things for so long. And I mean, I know I'm only a month graduated, but I still remember stuff from first semester, which would have been 17 months ago now, of little things that it's just like, I never would have learned that otherwise. I remember a patient told me the difference between Roman Catholics and Greek Orthodox. It's like, what the hell? I would have never learned that anywhere else. It's just like little things, or like, I remember one patient always loved to dance, so we would always make sure someone got to dance with her, something like that. And it's like the experiences you have are just, you'll never forget them. And the people, you'll never forget them. I know my friends that I made in nursing school are going to be lifelong friends of mine, and they're just the best people. And I truly believe that God brought me into nursing school at that time to be with those people and to do all these things with them. And I guess just my last point, like I said, is to make the best of it. It is the hardest thing of your life, but you should be so proud of yourself when you're done, so proud of your friends. And just have an awesome time with it. So thank you for watching. I don't know if this will even get any views, which is fine. I just wanted to kind of get my foot in the door with making videos. So maybe I'll make some more, and tell me if you like it. So thank you for watching.